It's Friday, March 15, the end of another work week. We have lots to tell you today. Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan has dismissed all criminal charges filed by civil society representative Marcel Gaskin against GCOM's chairman and commissioners.
What has happened, in a nutshell, is that the magistrate ruled that the case was frivolous, it had no basis in law, and as a result, she was not prepared to entertain it, and she virtually dismissed it.
The charges against GCOM commissioners Desmond Trotman, Charles Corbin, Vincent Alexander, and chairman of the commission, retired Justice James Patterson, allege a conspiracy to cause a breach of the Constitution by voting for house-to-house registration before general and regional elections.
The case arose out of a misconception by Gaskin, who believed that because we failed to support the position of the PPP commissioners, that we committed a breach of the Constitution.
Following the December 21 vote in the National Assembly, opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo has been calling for the resignation of the coalition government and elections to be held in 90 days, despite a challenge to the legality, among other matters, surrounding the vote being deliberated upon by the Court of Appeal. Gaskin had earlier in the week joined the bandwagon and filed the now dismissed charges against the quartet. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Despite the continuous claims of economic gloom by the political opposition, major companies continue to invest in Guyana's economy.
Minister of Finance Winston Jordan expressed delight at the move by Distribution Services Limited's parent company, DDL's investment of over $1 billion in a distribution warehouse at Diamond.
This investment is evidence of the improvement in the investment climate in Guyana. This is one of several large investments that are taking place in the economy.
Minister Jordan joined Minister of Foreign Affairs and Acting Prime Minister Carl Greenidge and Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin, along with members of the Diplomatic Corps, in officially opening the new facility. The Finance Minister shared last year's growth rate, which stood at some 3.4%, placing Guyana in the spotlight as one of the fastest growing economies in the Caribbean. The country's latest estimate of 2018's real growth of economy is between 3.6 to 3.9%. The actual growth, he said, will be presented in April of this year.
Since this government has acceded to office, we have managed to keep the economy growing in an increasingly hostile international environment, such as de-risking, AML, CFT, which is posing more problems for businesses and for people to do businesses, and a domestic environment that is sometimes wracked by political instability and challenges to our traditional sectors.
According to Minister Jordan, the fact that growth has been achieved in light of low inflation, an unimaginable fiscal deficit, and debt-GDP ratio is tribute to the prudence and management of the economy by the coalition government. Construction of the more than $1 billion warehouse commenced 17 months ago. It measures 136 by 240 feet and has a total gross area of 42,000 square feet. The office area stands at some 8,000 square feet, with ground floor space at 34,000 square feet. Reporting for InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
Media operatives got a tour of the Lethem industrial estate as the government makes the prospectus available to investors. Our InfoHub team was in the town.
Minister of Business Dominic Gaskin says the facility, which will cost in excess of $1.5 billion upon completion, will be ready for occupation by mid-May.
We thought it was very important for the media to be here and for us to share with you in a very transparent manner our prospectus, our investor guidelines, our application process, so that everyone will understand what that process is, what our expectations are, and that there will be no finding out after the fact about what the investment guidelines, what the investment process, what the application process is, what the various associated costs are. We wanted to be upfront with all of that information before we even started to accept applications.
Further, the Minister of Business said the project is of great importance not only to Region 9, but the entire Guyana.
We believe that this estate, along with the other developments such as the road from Lethem leading to the Atlantic coast, other projects in renewable energy, will go a long way towards the economic development of this region, but also to increase and enhance economic cooperation between Guyana and Brazil.
Meanwhile, Daniel Gaji, president of the Rupununi Chambers of Commerce, and regional chairman Brian Alicock were both high in praise for the government's development of the estate. The tour of the industrial estate was attended by members of the media, prospective investors from both Guyana and Brazil, and officials of government from both Brazil and Guyana. The estate will also be home to the Region 9 Business Incubator when completed. Dr. Lowell Porter of the SBB and Owen Verwey of Go Invest were also present along with representatives of the contractors and supervising agency. For InfoHub, Felicia Valenzuela.
Citizens of Georgetown are slated to experience major development following the signing of a historic Memorandum of Understanding. The MOU was signed between the City of Georgetown and the City of Aberdeen at City Hall.
Mayor of Georgetown, Yubraj Narain, and Lord Provost Mayor of Aberdeen, Barney Crockett, signed the MOU. During the press conference held at the British High Commission's residence, Mayor Crockett said the MOU aims to adequately prepare Georgetown for the emerging oil and gas sector that is only a few months away from production.
We've had a long experience of oil and gas. I grew up in Aberdeen before the oil industry came, so I remember what it was like. I remember some of the errors that we made, but also some of the good things that have happened. And so I hope that history, that Guyana can do it to prevent maybe making the errors that other places have made, but can make sure that it can be part of a tremendous internationalized world where there are opportunities for Guyanans.
In order to reap the benefits of the emerging sector, Crockett noted that Guyanese must be prepared for the rapid development and growth while at the same time balancing the tremendous attributes of Georgetown.
You don't want to risk what you have in order to get what you might have. You don't want to risk the enormous reputation that Guyana has for ecotourism, its pristine nature, its wonderful wildlife, in order to have a positive development of its national resources.
Some key areas of focus include stimulating and supporting offshore energy business interactions between the two cities, building capacity and developing skills in offshore energy industry in Georgetown. For InfoHub, Rebecca Ganesh.
Still to come, 300 students settling well at newly refurbished Cato Secondary School, $50 million MovieTowne Cinemaplex, and shopping mall officially opens its doors. Details of these stories and more when we return.
Are you ready to embark on a truly epic adventure to an undiscovered corner of South America, where some of the most spectacular natural attractions are unveiled within a beautifully diverse landscape? From the wetlands and savannas to the ancient mountains, magnificent waterways and lush enriching rainforest would provide a vast playground for some of the most exotic and breathtaking creatures on the planet, including many of the world's giant species. This untouched land of mystery and wonder serves up an exclusive experience for travelers. So are you ready for a new, awe-inspiring adventure? Welcome back to nature. Welcome to Guyana.
"300 students are settling in well at the newly refurbished Cato Secondary School since its opening last September.
Regional Education Officer Penelope McIntosh said the school, which houses students from grades 7 to 9, is of great benefit. McIntosh said that prior to the opening of the school, students would have to travel to Madhya, Paramakotai, or Sand Creek to attend school.
Children are quite comfortable. At presently, they're housing 295 of them, and they have all things in everything in terms of food and every other thing that has to happen. We also would get tremendous help from the Tushao regional chairman and everybody. They try to have everything for K2 secondary up and running.
Minister of Social Cohesion Dr. Georgetown-Aberdeen, who visited the school a few days ago, said he was pleased with the condition of the school and the fact that students can now occupy the building.
I want to give credit where credit is due to all those who did what was necessary to bring this building to the standard it is at this point in time. It certainly has come a far way from where walking on the concrete destroyed it. It is at a stage now where students are benefiting from it academically, and I'm happy about that.
Tushao Kato Clifton Pereira also expressed his gratitude in having the school finally opened. He encouraged the students to take full advantage of the opportunity to have an education. The school is slated to be officially commissioned Friday by Minister of Education Dr. Nicolette Henry. Isaiah Braffett for InfoHub.
Some more good news. MovieTowne Guyana, the approximately $50 million cinemaplex and shopping mall, has officially opened its doors.
As the evening's festivities began, various animated characters walked the Chinese-inspired decorated lobby area of the Cinemaplex, giving special invited guests and patrons an insight as to what to expect from the state-of-the-art facility. Minister of Foreign Affairs Carl Greenidge, who's performing the duties of Prime Minister, delivered the keynote address and lauded the magnitude of the investment.
The government of Guyana, I think, wishes to emphasize that it is happy to encourage and welcome investment of this kind that we can look at today, not to mention the magnitude and the nature of the investment.
Minister Greenidge says Guyana is quickly becoming a competitive marketplace, and investment of this type and scale brings a wider choice of goods and services, and in this regard, government pledges its support to investors.
And I'd like to say that Mrs. Chin, Scott, and Abraham, that we have a commitment to you and other investors that the fortitude that you have shown in pursuing this project to completion and in sticking to your investment in spite of the challenges to which you've made references, that you can be assured that the confidence you've shown in this country and the efforts that you have made to see this project through to fruition will be matched by the government's efforts to ensure that you work within a predictable and welcoming environment.
This investment would certainly bring positive changes to Guyana's economy. But according to Mr. Derek Chin, the chairman of MovieTowne, this facility was built to bring back the family life. Reporting from MovieTowne, Felicia Valenzuela.
That's all for this evening. Connect with us on WhatsApp, like and subscribe to our Facebook page for notifications, and subscribe to our website for more stories. You can also follow us on Instagram for updates. Your bridge and weather reports are up next. Have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Goodbye.